Hello everybody, my name is Sheila SL Reads, and today I'm going to be doing my May wrap-up. It is a bit early for me to be doing this. It is currently the 28th, and the month ends on the 31st. However, I'm not really sure if I'm going to be reading anything else this month besides what I've already read. But if I do, then I will add an extra clip or something at the end, so I guess we'll see then. This month I participated in the Asianreadathon, which was hosted on YouTube by a few different YouTubers. I'm only going to give a quick wrap-up of the books that I read for that readathon because I did film an entire vlog, and so my thoughts are mostly in that, so I'm just going to link that if you want to hear more. But for that, I ended up reading Monstress Volume 1, which is a graphic novel, and it was actually pretty interesting. It was like a horror graphic novel, which is not something I'm really used to. I do really like graphic novels, but I'm the most easily scared person ever. But it actually wasn't that scary. It was actually pretty interesting. I'm trying to decide if I want to pick up the next volume. Next I read As Kismet Would Have It by Manon. This was not something I was planning on reading. It is a novella, like sequel sort of thing, in the same universe as When Dimple Met Rishi, which is a book that I really enjoyed. I unfortunately did not enjoy this novella all that much. I just didn't think that there was that much substance, and obviously that's something you get from most novellas. It was just supposed to be kind of like fluffy extra bits, but I just really did not enjoy it. Next book that I read was P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. This is the second book in the To All the Boys I Loved Before series, and I really liked the first one. I really liked the movie, but this one just was not really for me. I feel like my main issue with it was that I do not like love triangles, and in the first book it kind of made sense because that was like the thing, but then there was another one added in this book, and just like senseless drama. A lot of early young adult contemporaries do have this, and it's just something that I really do not enjoy, and I feel like we're kind of moving away from that with young adult contemporaries now, but it just wasn't that great. I'm gonna read the third book at some point. I have it. I just don't think it's gonna be soon, in all honesty. The next book I finished was an advanced reader copy of Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. I did not like this that much. I only gave it 2 stars, and I will link my review for it down below because I tried to like articulate what I was thinking. I think that I hit a point in the book where I was like, I don't like this, and so after that point it was really hard for me to find something that I did like. That does not mean that it's a bad book. I do think it has a very interesting premise, but I just feel like it was not executed as well as it could have been. This is supposed to be a Mulan retelling, but also sort of crossed with Project Runway, and I thought that was going to be more of the book, and it was only about half of the book was this actual competition. I feel like the competition went too fast. The main character was not a master of her craft, but somehow beat all of these other masters. While it's not like completely unheard of, it just seemed a little bit ridiculous, and she had these magic scissors, and we never really found out exactly what they did, but they somehow like saved her life, and like everything was really important. The romance in this and the romantic interest was like the thing that I hated the most. It was a very stereotypical romantic interest for a fantasy. It reminded me so much of Reese from A Court of Thorns and Roses. Also, the relationship was not really that healthy, and somehow it was still insta-love, even though the romance didn't actually pick up until past halfway through the book. I feel like they just like admitted that they had feelings for each other, and then suddenly were like, I am in love with you, we're going to have children together, and I was like, maybe slow down a bit. That's a bit fast. Please stop. And then the final book that I read for this readathon was 1,000 Beginnings and Endings, which is an anthology of retellings of Asian mythological stories and folktales, and I give this 4 stars. I feel like some of them were like super strong. There are a few that I didn't like, which is the only reason that I took a star off, but also like some of them were just absolutely fantastic. My favorite thing about this is that it's not just fantasy retellings, which I feel like is what a lot of retellings are. Most myths work really well is in a fantasy setting because they are kind of fantastical, but this was fantastic. There were sci-fi retellings, there were contemporary retellings, and I really liked seeing all the different things, and it actually gave me a few authors that I want to check out in the future. There are 2 more books that I did finish in the month that were not for this readathon. The first of these is Midnight Radio, which is a graphic novel. I received an advanced reader copy of it through NetGalley. While I was very confused throughout the entire story, I did really like it. It had a very interesting use of color, and obviously this is very hard to talk about because not only did I have like a digital form of this on my laptop, but I also like can't show it to you. It's an advanced copy. It was an interesting dialogue about conformity and also like technology, and while most of it I was kind of like, this is not really the best thing because it was kind of saying like technology is bad, like social media is bad, we should live in the moment and all that stuff, and like I understand that, but it seemed like it was kind of coming from like a weird place. I did give it 4 stars, and I just feel like it was so hard to describe. You followed 4 different viewpoints, and they're all somehow connected, and you kind of just have to figure that out as you go along. And if you like standalone graphic novels, then definitely pick it up. It's really cool. And then the final book that I finished this month is Graham's Delicacies. I actually finished it this morning. It's by M.L.E., and it is so cute. I spent a lot of my teenage years writing and reading fan fiction, and I feel like if you did that and you like very fluffy AUs, then you will definitely enjoy this. Because the thing is this is pretty much just like a bakery slash coffee shop AU. It has a lot of queer romance in it. There's 3 different main romances, and there's like 3 sections of the story. And I don't read a lot of like strictly romance novels, although I do read, like I said, a lot of fan fiction, which is usually romance centric. But I thought this was so cute because not only did it involve baking, which I feel like could like bring me all the way back to like Check Please or something, which also does have queer elements in it. I loved how different the 3 romances were. They had completely different vibes, and I don't know why I was expecting that they would all be like the first one, but at the same time, despite them having these different vibes, these different falling in love stories, they all were very consensual. They were all very healthy. They all had a lot behind the scenes. Like, there were some very deep and dark elements behind the scenes within the people's lives, but still had a very happy ending, and it was still happy overall, I would say. The people in these romances all work at this one place called Graham's Delicacies, which is a bakery slash coffee shop place, cafe, something like that. And it was so cute just to see like how like over the 3 stories like things change and like the place becomes more popular and how that affects the characters themselves. And it's not just like this is the setting and like nothing happens there, it's all like character based. Like, it is also like based in the setting. So I just really enjoyed that. I thought it was very cute. That is the end of my wrap up for May. I am actually pretty happy with all the stuff that I read. I think I did pretty good. I'm planning at the moment to be doing some readathons in June, but I will probably be releasing TBRs and or vlogs about those when they are coming about. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!